Time now for another vlog. And this is November's vlog 2020, which means we have more vlog to go after this one. And then 2020 is over. Hooray. It's almost over this year. Mostly it's been a bad year. There's been some, I guess, good moments here or there. Been a lot of bad moments. That might be an understatement. But I, for one, won't miss 2020. I think most of you feel the same way. And we're going to go over the things that happened, transpired in November 2020. Not everything. I usually miss a thing or two here or there. But at the same time, we will go over a few things, like in the world, and a few things in my life, etc. By the way, if you want to check out previous vlogs, feel free and watch the playlist of my vlogs over on the vlogs channel. Been doing the vlog series for a while now. And there's a lot of vlogs to go back and check out if you feel so inclined. I did change up the format of my vlogs at the beginning of the year to more like what it is now. But there was a time, previous vlogs, where we would talk about various themes or topics. But anyways, so November 2020. How was November 2020? Well, it sucked as well. For one thing, I am back on my original PlayStation 4. Fortunately, I kept my PS4. My original intention 2 years ago, whenever I got my PS4 Pro, was to eventually sell it, to clean the OG PS4 and sell it just like I did with my original Xbox One when I got my Xbox One X. But I'm glad I did not do the same with my OG PS4. Why, you ask? Well, because my PS4 has become a PS4 Pro-tato. It's been having some issues. I even took it into the repair shop, spent $50, and they had it for a few days. They did diagnostics and everything, and surprise, surprise, they couldn't find anything wrong with it. So obviously I shouldn't have taken it there, but in all fairness, they are a cell phone repair place. That's what they specialize in, but they also, I guess, on the side do some console repair stuff too. But obviously that's not their main thing. But yeah, I'm back on the original PlayStation 4, which is why we're not using Mafia Definitive Edition Free Ride in the background, because I haven't downloaded Mafia Definitive Edition onto my OG PS4, in case you were wondering. I'm sure a lot of you are like, GB, we don't really care about that. It's just nice to have in the background while you babble and talk about random things. So we do have some new consoles now, the PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series X. Sold out and almost impossible to acquire. And I think a lot of that is thanks to the scalpers, right? They bought a whole bunch of them. And they're putting ridiculous prices specifically on the PS5. Probably also on the Xbox Series X as well. And I don't like that at all. I'm all about people making money. But when you're taking a $500 console and you're buying a whole bunch of them, and then you're marking up the price by at least twice, like $1,000+ on eBay or whatever other sites you're selling them on, that's ridiculous. That's greed right there. And I hate that crap. I absolutely do. I mean, it'd be one thing to, I don't know, maybe a 25% boost at the most, or like a $100 bonus, or extra few bucks in your pocket. But scalpers suck. But eventually I will get a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, but it's going to be a quick minute before I get either console. But for now, I'm just going to have to stick with the Xbox One X as well as my OG PS4 going forward. I was kind of sort of thinking about getting Cyberpunk 2077, but I was really wanting to check it out on PS5 or Xbox Series X. However, apparently, according to Karunzi, it's not going to look like too different until there's a patch later on for the current-gen consoles, which are now PS5 and Xbox Series X. Plus, I'm not really into first-person open-world games. I mean, I do like open-world games, obviously. And I think CD Projekt Red is an amazing developer. And I'm sure that CD Projekt Red has done a great job over the past few years for Cyberpunk 2077. even though it was originally intended for the PS4 and Xbox One. So I'm sure it'll run and look just fine on the last gen consoles, as we're now having to, I guess, get accustomed to calling them. But I'll just have to wait and see. I'll wait and see some people review it, like Angry Joe, my friend Carrick over at ACG, and other really good reviewers out there. Plus, some of my viewers and subscribers will probably be picking up and playing it. And I'm interested in their opinion about Cyberpunk 2077. And if it turns out to be really good and right up my alley, then I may end up getting it for the Xbox One X. Maybe. That might be a thing. We'll see. So what else is transpired this month in November 2020? By the way, Cyberpunk doesn't come out till December, so that's December 2020. We had a little election in the United States. You may or may not have heard about it, the U.S. presidential election between Trump and Biden. And apparently Biden won, even though Trump has contested it. And in states where the vote was really close, I fully support recounts. It doesn't matter who the candidates are, whether I support them or don't support them. So for the states where there has been recounts, I'm okay with that. I get that. It's just the way it goes. There's also been lawsuits as well, along with these recounts. A lot of the lawsuits, I believe, have been already thrown out. But it looks like that Biden is going to get the electoral votes required for him to become the next president of the United States. So I guess the epic saga Grumpy Old Men 3 is about to come to an end, I think. We'll just have to wait and see. Everybody keeps talking about some sort of Kraken. I've yet to see the Kraken. Or that lawyer, that Powell lawyer, she's supposed to have some damning evidence. I don't know if she does or not. And that's the problem. They're always talking about we have this evidence. But where? I mean, yeah, you have some people testifying. Okay. And I'm not saying there wasn't voter fraud. I think that, unfortunately, there's always a degree of voter fraud when it comes to elections. I wish there wasn't, but there probably was, especially with the fact that we've had to deal with the bug this year, which has changed a lot of things, including the way a lot of people ended up voting. And there was a lot of Americans that voted by mail-in ballots. Now, I've expressed my concerns about mail-in ballots, and I personally went to go vote in person. Like I believe most Americans should vote. I think most people, as long as you're healthy, as long as you're physically able to, you should go vote in person. But because of the bug, a lot more states did mail-in ballot voting. And, well, that's just up to each state to do that, to their choice, right? And some people make the argument that it's possible, maybe not, or maybe so, that the mail-in ballots may have not been legitimate. In some states, they may not have even been constitutional, according to state constitutions. So there's a lot of question there, back and forth, about the legality of the mail-in ballots. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's pretty much said and done. Without any damning evidence, without a smoking gun, it's pretty much over, I think. I think that Biden will get the electoral votes whenever they vote in a few days. The electoral voters, and he'll be officially declared the president-elect, even though he's already called himself that. And I guess on January 20th, 2021, he'll be sworn in as the 46th president of the United States. I'm convinced he's not going to serve a full term. I think that about 2 years into his presidency or less, he will step aside. He'll retire. He'll resign for health issues, or maybe the Hunter Biden scandal will finally be too much for him, and he'll have no choice but to step aside. And then Kamala Harris will become the 47th president of the United States. That's my prediction. So I think that within a year or two, we're going to have another president. So we'll go from Biden to Kamala Harris, or President Harris. It's going to happen. And then there's a very real possibility that if President Harris isn't popular in 2024, that the opposition will have a candidate that will defeat her in the 2024 presidential election. That's a very real possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. And also in the 2022 elections for like the U.S. House, it's very possible that the Republicans may retake the House, especially if the Biden-Harris administration is not popular within 2 years from now, and they've done things that a lot of Americans do not approve of. So that's a very real possibility. We just have to wait and see what the future holds. I'm not really optimistic about a Biden or a Harris administration, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's just the way it goes. And I respect people's right to vote. And I wasn't really a fan of either of our top two presidential choices. I really wish in my country we had multiple parties to vote for. I mean, we do have third parties, but they rarely gain any traction at all, unfortunately. I wish we had like a moderate party, because I would love to be in a moderate party or be part of a moderate party or vote and maybe even run for office in a moderate party. Maybe one day that'll be real. I just feel like the top two parties in my country have this duopoly control over our political system, from the federal level to state levels and even down to local levels of government in the United States. And I just wish that we had more options than just two. I really do. But yeah, I guess we're going to find out how it all plays out one way or the other. Most of us are just along for the ride, for better or worse. You try to be optimistic. You hope that President Biden and eventually President Harris, because like I said, I think that Biden won't serve a full 4 years. Maybe a year or two at the most, probably. I could end up being wrong. It's not the first time I was wrong about anything. But I just don't know if they're going to be popular enough to either or get reelected in 2024. It'll be interesting to see who ends up running against whoever's president in 2024. It'll be interesting indeed. Will it be somebody I will actually believe in and vote for? Will I even be around in 2024? I hope so. I sincerely do. I hope you're all still around in 2024, for better or worse. I just hope that the 20s turn around and end up being way better than 2020 was. So maybe the rest of the 2020s will be okay going forward into 2021, but that remains to be seen. I want to congratulate two fellow YouTubers, friends of mine, that have worked really hard on their YouTube channels. And I've known them for a few years when they were smaller channels. And they came to my channels as a few viewers and subscribers, and I've gotten to know both of them. And I'm very proud of them. And in November, both Riley Black Fox as well as It's Kane, they both reached 1,000 subscribers on their channel. And I'm very proud of both of you. You both have worked very hard. You both have made great content. You both have improved in a lot of ways since I first knew you to where you are today. And I hope you continue improving. I hope you continue finding yourselves, discovering yourselves, and continue improving the content on your channel and continue to grow. So I'm very proud of both of you, Riley and Kane. You both have done a great job. And I look forward to seeing your channels continue to grow. And speaking of YouTube, it's just really hard for people to grow their channels or even start out a new channel these days because of all the YouTube policies that they enact. It is extremely difficult. And coming soon to YouTube, even channels that are not YouTube partners, like Kane's about to be a YouTube partner. I think Riley's about to do her YouTube partnership stuff, so they're about to be YouTube partners. That's good. And I'm also a YouTube partner over on the gaming channel. But channels that are not YouTube partnered, like my vlogs channel, for example, or my political channel, which I post content every now and then, those channels are going to start having ads on their channels, but the content creator will not receive a dime, a penny for any of those commercials, which I think is BS. I think that's ridiculous. At least give the content creators and the streamers that are not partners something, or maybe put away that money for the day when they do become a YouTube partner. Maybe put like a little, I don't know if they could actually put like a little escrow account, because they do that for whenever there's a copyright claim issue or a dispute or an appeal. They'll put any ad revenue into escrow. Maybe they could do something like that for the non-YouTube partners and just have that set aside for once they officially become a YouTube partner, all that additional ad revenue that's been, I guess, banked away will be added to their AdSense account, and they'll be able to grab that for their checking account. That would be cool if YouTube would actually do that. Whether or not they do remains to be seen. But speaking of YouTube, speaking of copyright claims, so some of you know that on the other channel, over the past few weeks, I had a small bit of turmoil occur. 5 years ago, in this Throwback Thursday series I once did in the early days of my channel, 2015, one of the games I played was Banjo-Kazooie, which was in the Rare Replay catalog that I bought many years ago. I since gave away the Rare Replay collection to a friend of mine for his kids to play. But recently there was a dispute on that video. By the way, that video at the time had, I think, 35 views, so it didn't have that many views. And it was way before I became a YouTube partner. And of all places, it got a dispute from another YouTube channel. You may have heard of them. They're called Rooster Teeth. You know, they make a lot of funny videos. And I found it funny. I just thought, well, wait a minute. Why is Rooster Teeth, which has millions of subscribers, filing a copyright claim against one of my videos from 5 years ago that has gained no traction, that had only 35 views? It didn't make sense. I thought it was freaking hilarious at the time. I simply assumed it was like an algorithm issue. And I disputed it like I do most of the time. Unless it's like a copyright song that happens to play during a live stream, most of the time I try to do my part to avoid getting copyright claims and especially copyright strikes. And if there ever is one, a lot of times it's kind of shady and I'll end up disputing it. And most of the time I end up winning. But this time the dispute was rejected by Rooster Teeth. And so it stopped being funny. And that's when it became very, very serious, because you're basically guilty till proven innocent in this regard. You, the person that's being claimed. So you had a small channel, my YouTube channel of 12,600 versus a channel of millions and millions of subscribers going head to head. And I had two choices. I could either demonetize the video, which was an option. I could have just demonetized the Banjo-Kazooie video. It wasn't going to make that much pennies anyways. I could either do that or I could file an appeal. And I chose to file an appeal. And that's dangerous because if the appeal didn't go my way, I could have gotten a warning from YouTube. I could have got a copyright strike. And I think there's even a precedent for channels being pulled down over a failed appeal. So that was concerning for at least a week or so, waiting, right? Just waiting, waking up every day, looking at my Gmail account, checking my YouTube studio to see if the appeal was still happening and whether or not it had gone my way or not my way. So that was very concerning for me personally, because I felt like a bug waiting to be stepped on by YouTube and Rooster Teeth. But lucky for me, YouTube actually went in my favor. The appeal went my way, and ultimately Rooster Teeth dropped the dispute. They dropped the claim. So victory for the little guy. So I was happy about that. It was like a big chip off my shoulder, a big weight off my shoulder, whatever you wish to call it, a brick. I don't know. But that was I guess one of the few good things that happened in November was the fact that YouTube actually went my way, because it just feels like YouTube has become more astroturf. It used to be a place where actual content creators and streamers could naturally grow their channels, especially if they were good and engaging, entertaining, and or making good content. But now YouTube seems to focus more on the corporations as well as celebrities, promoting them who have zero YouTube experience, zero content creating, zero live streaming. And yet they seem to get promoted way more than the average independent YouTuber, content creator, and live streamer. It's a sad direction that YouTube has been going. I don't like it. At the same time, I don't have a problem with Hollywood stars, TV stars, reality stars, movie stars, or sports stars having their own YouTube channels. That's fine. But a lot of it just feels very astroturfy. And YouTube does their part to support those channels, where you have to bust your butt struggling and enduring, mostly by yourself, working on your own channel to grow it, to make the content. Trial and error, success and failure, more failure than success before you get anywhere. And when it comes to certain channels out there, they don't have to do as much heavy lifting as the rest of us do. And the fact that every day there's more content creators and more streamers trying to get into YouTube, whether it's just for fun, playing video games, or different types of videos out there. There's history channels, there's science channels, there's documentary type channels, there's health channels, there's makeup channels, etc. There's just so much other content being made every day. So many live streams going out every day, even over like Red Dead Online or GTA Online or various other games. There's a lot of other content creators and streamers out there making content as well. So it's hard to really get yourself up there and get noticed with all these other content creators and streamers out there doing their thing. And it's compounded by the fact that you have this other issue with corporations, their channels being like given precedent, as well as the celebrities that have channels now. It sucks for content creators and YouTubers, but there's nowhere else to go for us. I mean, yeah, you have other streaming sites like Twitch, which also has issues. You have Facebook Live, but for content creating, YouTube's the only place right now. There's been plenty of other content creating platforms that have come and gone over the years. They're just no match to Google. They're no match at all. And so for better or worse, as long as I continue to make content on YouTube, whether on the gaming channel or here on the vlogs channel, hopefully continue to make monthly vlogs or stuff on the political channel or perhaps even a future channel down the road. I don't know. You never know what the future holds. You hope that we're all still here for the future, but you never know. Either way, I guess I'm just with YouTube till whatever end, I suppose. But anyways, let's talk about some TV shows real quick. There's a couple shows I've been watching. Obviously, throughout November, we have Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I've been enjoying it. The problem is I can't really talk about Mandalorian without spoiling it. So that's probably all I'm going to say about Mandalorian is the fact that I feel like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have done a fantastic job with that series. And the sooner Kathleen Kennedy is no longer in charge of Lucasfilm, the better. I think her contract's coming up. There's rumors that she may get a contract extension. I hope that Disney actually pays attention to the majority of Star Wars fans out there and realizes they don't want her around anymore. Just retire, take your money, and go away, Kathleen Kennedy. All right? Just go away. Either let Filoni or Favreau or Kevin Feige take over, please. Thank you. But I will say this. Seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian have been far more enjoyable than the sequel trilogies. I have enjoyed Rogue One. It's like the only Disney Star Wars movie I've liked was Rogue One. I thought it was okay. And I think its anniversary just came up, 5 years ago, I think, a week or so ago? Yeah, so I liked Rogue One. It was basically, I guess you could say, a prequel to A New Hope. A love letter to Star Wars fans. Maybe a little too many Easter eggs, and that's part of the problem. There's been a lot of Easter eggs in Rogue One. There's a lot of Easter eggs in Solo, and I hated Solo. It was awful. I just did not like it at all. But I really did not like Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. By the way, as I've mentioned before, if you're interested in my reviews of the Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, the prequels, the sequels, it's also over there on the political channel when I was trying to do kind of a Viva Variety thing over there, in case you're curious. But yeah, I hope that Mandalorian continues to do well, and I hope that ends up leading to new Star Wars content going forward with Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, like leading the charge. Here's hoping. The other show that I just finished binge watching over the weekend was The Crown Season 4. I know there's a vast difference between a show like The Mandalorian and a show like The Crown. I'm a history buff. I love history. And I will say one thing, that I've loved all 4 seasons of The Crown. And I do like the fact that as a person who enjoys history, it gives me a little inside baseball as to the monarchy and British history since World War II. So I've learned a quite a bit from The Crown. I don't know how accurate it is when it comes to the internal stuff between the Queen, Prince Philip, Princess Margaret, and all the kids. Whether or not any of that is like 100% accurate remains to be seen. I'm sure that there's some degree of accuracy, like maybe like 70, 80%. Some of it could be made up. Some of it could just be just clever dialogue and dramatic scenes for the sake of drama. I don't know. Plus, it's interesting to see the different prime ministers that have come and gone since Elizabeth has been queen. And the most recent one, I think, had Margaret Thatcher, played by Gillian Anderson, and wow. I mean, it's just crazy, because, Some of you out there X-Files fans, right? One or two of you. Y'all remember younger Gillian Anderson? I do. Man. I mean, I'll say this: I thought she did an okay job as Margaret Thatcher, but I didn't realize Margaret Thatcher reigned as Prime Minister of the UK for so long. What was it, 11 years? I didn't realize that. I did know about the Falklands War, okay? And it was touched on in Season 4. Not throwing spoilers out there because it's history, okay? But I feel like that they could have done an episode, like, focusing on the war itself. Maybe it was going to cost too much money to do it like that. They had it in the background, but at the same time, I wanted to see an episode dedicated to the Falklands War. Because I think Prince Andrew, who's had some issues, like Epstein issues, yeah. But back then, like when he was younger, I think he actually served in the Falklands War. But it's just history is fascinating to me. All kinds of history. Whether it's American history, British history, European history, Egyptian history, Chinese history, Roman history, world history. I find it all very fascinating. And a lot of times you do see a lot of things repeat. Because as the old saying goes, if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. But yeah, two good shows. I really did enjoy it. And I don't think I'll say anything else about The Crown. Because I don't want anybody that hasn't watched The Crown yet to be unintentionally spoiled by some of the stuff that happens. So if you love history, if you're interested in this sort of thing, you got Netflix, I would definitely recommend checking out The Crown. And season 1 and 2, you had Claire Foy. I love Claire Foy as younger Queen Elizabeth. And Matt Smith, he played Prince Philip. And they've had some really good actors and actresses along the way in other roles. Like John Lithgow was great as Winston Churchill in the first season. And like I said, Gillian Anderson was great as Margaret Thatcher, I thought. I thought she did a good job. I'm not a Margaret Thatcher expert, but I thought she did okay. But yeah, some good shows, in my opinion. Different interests, right? One is mostly just entertaining, and the other one also entertaining, but also adds a little bit more interesting stuff. Allegedly based on some of the things that may have actually occurred throughout the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Prince Charles, and Princess Anne, and Princess Diane, and Princess Margaret, and some of the others as well. Let's see, what else can we talk about? So for a few weeks I've been doing a fundraiser with some of the videos on my channel, because YouTubers now have the ability, YouTube partners have the ability to promote various nonprofits. And I want to thank everybody that did donate to World Central Kitchen. That's very much appreciative. And I did a little bit of research before I decided on which nonprofit to go with for some of those videos back in November. And I felt like World Central Kitchen, in my opinion, was the best one, because they were out there actually feeding people in third world countries or in areas affected by natural disasters or poor communities in the United States as well. So it wasn't just third world countries. It was just areas affected where people were in need of food. And I felt like that World Central Kitchen was the best one to go with. And thank you to everybody that did take the time to contribute to World Central Kitchen. And it's definitely a good cause. I mean, there's a lot of charities out there I don't really believe in. I think a lot of them are BS. And most of the money that they collect don't end up going towards the intended cause. I won't name names. You can go do that research yourself. But I feel like World Central Kitchen is one of the good ones out there. Plus, I was trying to find one that wasn't like overtly politically motivated one way or the other. I just wanted a nonprofit that was generally out there trying to help people. And it felt like, to me, that World Central Kitchen was actually helping people. So what else has transpired this month? Oh, yeah. Mom Remembrance Day, as I have come to call it. So some of you may not understand what I'm talking about. November is the month my mom passed away. November 21st. November 21st in the year 1982. I was just a baby at the time. And I never knew my mom. Some of you are aware of that from previous vlogs. And all I know about her is from what people told me. She liked horses. She was an artist. She liked to write poems. And she was generally a pretty nice person. But at the same time, I never got to know my mom personally. And it's sad. But for the longest time, I unfortunately allowed that to control me. I allowed that wound to continue to remain open, and I would just bring it up over and over again. And I eventually got tired of doing it a few years back. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep dwelling on something I had no control over, and the fact that my mom will never come back and she's gone? You hope that you'll see her again in the next life, if there is an afterlife, hopefully. But for the here and now, I have to move forward. And for the longest time, I did not move forward. I would just keep looking back, wondering what my life would have been like if my mom would have still been around, or if, at the very least, I could have had a few years with my mom to get to know her. But, it wasn't meant to be. But at the same time, I am grateful to my mom for the life she gave me. And if it wasn't for my mom, it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be here. So I do appreciate my parents, even though both my parents are now gone. Hopefully somewhere else, hopefully a better place. Maybe I will see them in the next life. So yeah, it's hard to believe it's been, 38 years since the passing of my mom. But as we get older, you'll notice that, people that you know and love, friends and family, loved ones, will come and go. But a part of them will always be with you as long as you remember them. I don't know why there's a time remaining on my... I don't know what that's about. That's just weird. What the hell? Anyways, let's just move on. I was just looking down at that clock on my B-roll while I'm driving around the map. So that's a little distracting. So Thanksgiving also happened in November in America. And I guess 2020 has taken its toll on Thanksgiving. Because while it wasn't that good. I mean, the food was all right. I got invited to my grandma's house. My grandma's 96 years old now. She's seen better days. She's bedridden. They can move around in a wheelchair. They have to feed her. They have to take care of her. My aunts and uncles that go over there. But at the end of the day, she has seen better days. She has seen a lot better days. And I fear that she's probably on her way out. I mean, last time I saw her was in December last year, and she didn't recognize me. And I knew right then and there, it's just hard to talk about. So I didn't really want to go over there, but my aunt, who was cooking dinner or providing dinner, several of my aunts and uncles did, by the way, they wanted me to come over, hang out with them for a little bit, and see some of my aunts, some of my uncles, a few of my cousins showed up. Not many people. But it's like everybody had a sob story. Everybody had something bad going on. Somebody was having health issues, another person having health issues, and other issues as well. So it was pretty depressing. A pretty depressing Thanksgiving. I'm just curious about what the hell this. What the fuck is this? I don't care about that. It's just a dynamic. Okay, sorry. I had to look. I'm just gonna ignore it. I come into an invite lobby and GTA Online. I get all these notifications pop up while I'm trying to read the vlog, while I'm trying to go over the vlog and talk about things. So that alone is kind of distracting. But then to have this shit pop up, it's annoying. But yeah, Thanksgiving. I guess it's just to be expected, especially with the year 2020 the way it's been. Some good news. One of my really good friends, one of my best friends, who had been living with me the past few months in my guest room, he has a new job in Texas. In fact, he's heading back down to New Orleans this week to pack his storage room and load it into a moving truck, and he'll be moving to Texas to start a new job, I think, next week. So I wish him the best of luck and hope that it works out for him. Hopefully it will. I really do. It's been a very tough year for a lot of people, including my friend, including me. And it's just the way it goes. I mean, you got downs and ups and downs. But I hope that things turn around for him. And once again, I have the place back to myself. Well, except for the cats and the dog. But at the same time, I'm always happy to try to help a friend or family member in need whenever I can. I'm not always able to, but I do try to help out here and there whenever I can. But there's part of me, I guess, that'll miss him because it was nice having somebody around to hang out with, to go out to eat with, to chill with, to watch shows with. But I totally get it. Like, hey, you got a new job, you're no longer employed, and it's hopefully a good job, and you got to go. You got to go do it. Make that money, get back on your feet. So I wish my friend the best of luck, and I wish you all the best of luck with your future endeavors going forward. Hopefully, like I mentioned, 2021 will be better. But let's talk about some concerning news. I did, the day before Thanksgiving, go to get an ultrasound done. I got there around 9 a.m., and I went in there, and she had like the stick, the wand with gel. She put it on my abdomen from the left side to the middle to the right side. And she spent a lot of time with the ultrasound wand on the right side of my body. And it wasn't until a few days later that I got the results from my ultrasound. And my liver is enlarged, which doesn't really surprise me because, as some of you know, like my mom before me, I have a fatty liver condition. In fact, that's how my mom died, was because of advanced liver failure. At the time when she died, they didn't know as much about the liver as they do now, or fatty liver. So my mom, let's just say she liked to partake in alcohol and other things, not realizing that the damage she was doing to herself. So I'm aware of it. I'm aware of the damage alcohol can do to my liver. And I haven't drank alcohol in a very long time. And I, for the most part, have a pretty healthy diet. But there is one issue that I need to improve upon. It's cardio. I sit a lot. I'm doing that right now. I'm doing a vlog. But I did go to the gym earlier today. Some of you know I've been going to the gym 2 or 3 days a week for the past few years. Over 4 years now? So I'm doing good on the weights, but the problem is I'm just not doing as good in the cardio, and I need to change that starting this week. So I'm readjusting my diet, because if I take a few things out of my diet and I put a few more things into my diet, that'll help my liver. From what I read, and I'll have to talk to my doctor whenever I go back to see her in a week or two. From what I read, the liver can regenerate. And it can go back down. The size can reduce. So that's hopeful. Everything else seemed fine except for one other issue I'm about to get to. And I think that these two things probably are connected. But I'm attempting to combat both these issues the same way. Along with my enlarged liver, my right kidney is also slightly enlarged, according to the ultrasound results. And it's the same thing. I'm just having to look over what I'm consuming, what I'm not consuming, and make proper adjustments going forward. So I'm hoping that the dietary changes that I'm tweaking and making will ultimately result in a healthier liver as well as a healthier kidney. I don't think either one is in the danger zone yet. They're just both enlarged, and only the right kidney is only slightly enlarged. So they can both be brought back under control. And it's amazing what food can do, the right food, that you ingest, the right materials. You are what you eat, as the old saying goes. So I'm working on that. And it's just something I'm going to have to get through because I have been in pain for a while now. And you may notice during live streams sometimes I'm trying to fight it. And some days it hurts more than other days. Especially since you have the liver on the right side and you have my right kidney, both affected. And I feel like they're probably both like right beside each other. And so it hurts. But I'm still here. And I'm still going to try and be here for as long as I can be. And I'm grateful for the amount of time I've had. I hope that I have some more time. I mean, I've got to be here longer than my mom did. She died at 25, and I'm a little bit older than 25 now. And I haven't drank alcohol in a long time. So despite the fact that I do all these healthy things, except for the cardio, which I'm going to do better, sometimes you feel like it's unfair. Sometimes you feel like, oh, this is unfair. But then again, there's people that have it way worse than me. There's people that are born with mental, physical disabilities, way worse than what I have. So I'm grateful for everything else. And hopefully I'll survive. If I'm meant to survive, I'll get through this, and hopefully my doctor and I will come up with a good game plan. I'm sure she'll have a better look at the results and a better idea of what to do. I'll tell you one thing, I don't want to do chemo. I don't think we were at the point where I have to do chemo, though. Fortunately, I don't think the C word, well, the other C word, not chemo, but the cancer. I don't think that's a thing. At least I hope not. It just said they were enlarged. So they can both be brought down. They can both be hopefully treated properly with a better diet, better food items. Like, for example, I'm going to start eating more pineapple. No, Kane, not on my pizza. But apparently pineapple's better for your kidneys than bananas. So I'm no longer going to have bananas. I'm just going to have pineapple in that capacity. And then other things too. But I have been for the longest time consuming products that are good for my liver. Like walnuts, cinnamon, drinking coffee, other things as well. I've been very mindful about staying away from fried food. But I'm going to have to do a better job. I'm going to have to stay away from burgers. I'm going to have to stay away from pizza. I'm going to have to just focus on just getting as healthy as possible, losing more, because I need to lose more weight. I'm a little bit overweight. I'm not like ridiculously overweight, but I'm still overweight, and I still want to lose weight. I want to get at least a dad bod going on. But that's my hope and dream. But it is a good thing that I am aware of the issue now. For a while now, I was unaware of what else was causing the problem because I felt like there had to be something else besides my liver. And now I know. And I think that's pretty much all the information regarding my results. If I find out anything else in a few weeks, I guess I'll know from my doctor. And we'll see what she decides, what her opinion is going forward. Because I look at doctors like mechanics. They're good mechanics, they're bad mechanics. They're not all gods. And if she comes up with a recommendation that I don't like, and I feel like it's the wrong decision, I'm not going to do it. So I guess it'll be a good test for my new doctor. Because I've only met her once. And the blood work, I think, for the most part, came back okay. Nothing too concerning there, I don't think. But all this is important information in order to come up with a game plan, a battle plan, a strategy, in the hopes of getting myself healthier. And part of that is cardio. I got to do more cardio. So, yeah. But other things going on before we wrap up. Video games. Let's talk about some video games. Tomorrow, December 1st. It's hard to believe it's already December. Red Dead Online has the Bounty Hunter expansion update. A lot of people are not really happy about that. Some of you over on my gaming channel, you know why. I hope that it turns out to be better than what we're expecting. We have daily challenge adjustments, which a lot of people are not happy with. We also have the standalone version of Red Dead Online. That's coming tomorrow. So that's what I'll be streaming tomorrow over on the gaming channel and covering for probably the rest of the week, for better or worse. And on December 15th, we have a big update coming to GTA Online. I'll be streaming that on Tuesday, December 15th, hopefully. The Cayo Perico heist, that might be fun. I hope that's good. And then 2 days later, on the 17th, it's somebody's birthday. I don't know whose birthday. Whose birthday is that? Nobody special? Okay. And nobody special. I wouldn't worry about it. It's one of those days that'll just hopefully go by uneventful. And we'll see how it goes. But before we go, I just want to say to all you still here watching, thank you for watching my vlogs. Thank you for listening to me. And I hope you've enjoyed my vlogs. You found them informative, educational, entertaining. I appreciate your thoughts and your kind words. And I want to wish you all, going into December, happy holidays. No matter what you happen to believe or not believe. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Winter Solstice, Saturnalia, Festivus, which, I'm a Seinfeld fan, so of course I'm all about Festivus. Season's greetings to all of you. And yeah, my birthday's coming up in a few weeks from now. Oh, joy. And the end of the year as well. So, New Year's Eve is approaching. 2020 is almost gone. How will the final month of 2020 go? Will it actually be a good month for once? Will it end on a high note? Will it be more BS, more crap? And will I still be around in a month from now whenever I do the 2020 vlog for December? I don't know if I'm like last December, I think I did like a 2019 vlog. I don't think I'll do that. Or maybe I'll just, we'll see how it goes a month from now. It depends on what transpires in December, for better or worse. If I have like a list of stuff to talk about, we'll see. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be back in Mafia Definitive Edition for the B-roll for Free Ride. That was my plan for this vlog, but I forgot to download Mafia Definitive Edition onto my original PlayStation 4. But anyways, hopefully I still will be around to annoy all of you for many more days, many more weeks, months, and hopefully years to come. But I do appreciate all of you being here. You all mean a great deal to me, all my viewers and subscribers, fans, my friends, family, loved ones. And I hope you have a happy December 2020. And I hope you're able to spend it with friends, family, and loved ones. I hope you have a good final month of the year. I hope 2021 goes better for all of us. I hope the 2020s go better. We'll just have to wait and see.